In a historic move indicative of the European Union's unwavering commitment to combating climate change, EU lawmakers have ratified a groundbreaking legislation aimed at curbing methane emissions associated with the importation of oil and gas into Europe. Scheduled to come into effect from 2030, this new law represents a pivotal step towards exerting pressure on international suppliers to implement robust measures aimed at reducing methane leaks. Recognizing methane as the second-largest contributor to global warming, trailing only behind carbon dioxide in its impact on the climate. The urgent need for swift and decisive action to slash methane emissions cannot be overstated, as its potency as a greenhouse gas renders it significantly more impactful in the short term, underscoring the critical importance of mitigating its release to avert the most catastrophic consequences of climate change. Jutta Paulus, an influential figure within the EU Parliament and one of the co-lead negotiators, hailed the adoption of this legislation as a monumental achievement in the fight against methane emissions. Paulus emphasized the significance of this legislative milestone, not only as the EU's inaugural endeavor to address the challenges posed by the second most potent greenhouse gas, but also as a pivotal step towards realizing the EU's ambitious climate targets and fulfilling its commitments under international accords such as the Global Methane Pledge. With methane intensity values serving as the yardstick, the law imposes strict emission limits on producers exporting fossil fuels to the EU, setting a precedent for stringent regulations in the global energy trade. The ramifications of these import rules are expected to reverberate across the energy landscape, particularly impacting major gas suppliers such as the United States, Algeria, and Russia. Notably, Russia, historically Europe's primary pipeline gas provider, has faced dwindling deliveries to the region, resulting in Norway emerging as the continent's leading supplier, distinguished by its exceptionally low methane intensity levels. As such, the law not only serves as a regulatory framework, but also serves as a catalyst for transforming the dynamics of the global energy market towards more sustainable practices. Before the law can be formally enacted, it must traverse the procedural hurdles of adoption by the European Council, followed by its publication in the EU official journal. Once these steps are completed, the law will enter into force after a 20-day period, signaling a significant milestone in the EU's ongoing efforts to combat climate change and position itself as a global leader in sustainable development. By spearheading initiatives aimed at mitigating methane emissions associated with fossil fuel imports, the EU sets a precedent for proactive climate action, paving the way for a more sustainable and resilient future for generations to come.